Hello and welcome to ESL 3-4 at Delgado. These are just some short lessons we're going to offer during the mid-session to hold you over until you get back into classes on June 22nd. So today's lesson is about double negatives, which are a fun thing to do when you talk, but it's not a proper thing to do. So in New Orleans, you will hear people using double negatives on a routine basis. It's something that we do normally. So the negative words in English are listed here. We won't read them all for you, but a double negative is when you use two of these in a sentence, right? So we can use one in a sentence, like Yogi Berra did down here. The towels were so thick I could hardly close my suitcase, which is the opposite of being able to close your suitcase, right? But you can only use one in a sentence most of the time. So we have all sorts of statements we might say. We have a positive statement such as I have money, and the negative statement is I do not have money. I care about you. I don't care about you. He has good manners. He does not have good manners. The woman has a husband. The woman does not have a husband. You have something to worry about. You don't have anything to worry about. So our negative words, we add those in to make negative statements. But what we do here in New Orleans is, or in America, or I guess in other places where they speak English too, is a lot of times we use double negatives because we think it adds emphasis to what we're saying. So I might say, I don't have no money, or I don't care nothing about you, or he ain't got no manners. That woman is trifling. That's why she doesn't have no man. You don't have nothing to worry about. These sentences are not good. We say them, but we know that technically that they are wrong, right? But we do it for emphasis. So we might find yourself in a situation. So I bought some ice cream recently, and when I got home, I had to give my son a warning. And when I did this, when I warned my son, I have many options, right? So I might say, son, please do not touch the ice cream until after dinner. Or I could say, keep your hands off the ice cream until after we eat. Or if you really want to let him know I'm serious, I say, you better not touch no ice cream before dinner. Because then I'm telling him I mean business. But is that really what I'm saying? It's not. My son is a smart aleck. He would say, well, if I don't touch no ice cream, I will be disobeying. Therefore, you are telling me that I must touch the ice cream. And he would be grammatically correct. Under the rules of grammar, using two negative words in one sentence makes a positive statement. So you can see that here in this chart. So we might use the words, I don't have no money. What I'm trying to say is that I am broke, or I don't have any money. But technically and actually, I don't have no money means I have at least 1 cent. We might say they ain't got no manners. Well, what I mean to say is that the person is rude. The person has bad habits. But in truth, it means that the person has at least a little bit of manners. You get the gist, right? You can't, if you have none, you have a little bit, right? If you don't have none, you must have something, right? So you don't have nothing to worry about. This is something we say to be endearing, right? What we mean is that you're going to be all right. We mean don't worry. But in fact, what it means is that you do have something to worry about. So you might be lying on the beach, but you might still have to worry about being sunburned, right? Because you don't have nothing to worry about. All right. We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. All right. Have you heard? I got to work on my blending. But have you heard that song before? It's by a band named Pink Floyd, and they use a double negative. It's one of the very popular use of double negatives. But you can see Bart here would disagree. He would say we do need no education. Because if we don't need no education, then he'll be forced to go to school, right? All right, here's another example. We have a guy who chews some gum, and then one guy says, hey, can I have some gum? And the guy says, I ain't got no gum. And the other guy, he's sad. He says, okay. But he told the truth. I ain't got no gum means I do have gum. But what he's saying is, I don't want to share with you, right? So this double negative thing is something we do for emphasis. But we don't want to be adding extra knots in there. It's not going to fix the problem. In fact, it will be quite confusing to you. These sentences are very confusing if you try to read them yourself, sir. So instead of using multiple negatives, you want to try to use the words a or anyone, anybody, anything, anywhere, etc. in place of the second negative word in the sentence. Oftentimes you can also leave the second negative out of the sentence, which is sometimes true, but not all the time. So I might want to say, I don't have any money. I don't care anything about you. He ain't got no manners. That's still both wrong. We're going to talk about ain't next time. That woman is trifling. That's why she doesn't have a man. You don't have anything to worry about. All right? And in these top two sentences, we could also remove the any or the anything. All right. So here's just a quick list of the rules for that you could maybe screenshot or copy down into your notebook. It's better to copy than to take a picture. It'll stay in your mind better, right? So these are just some examples on avoiding some double negatives. And then here are some questions that you can put the video on pause or take a picture of and kind of write down and correct these sentences yourself. And just as a reminder, your live classes are going to resume on June 22nd. Contact your teacher if you have any questions. You should be receiving emails and directions for over the last couple weeks telling you what's going on. And if you're not a student and you'd want to join our classes, you can go to dccaep.org. Also, you'll see a link for the fun video game, so try to play that too. It's great having class this time. Talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.